Dear students, good evening. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 8th December 2020. The first article for discussion is A Duet for Indian Urban Women. First, let us understand the status of the urban poor. Many of the benefits and programs which are available for the rural poor are actually not available for urban poor. For example, PDS, public distribution system, it is hard to reach to the urban poor. So there is a demand to universalize the PDS so that exclusion errors can be minimized. Similarly, Employment Guarantee Act is there for the rural people, but it is not there for urban people. In this context, there is a demand for providing urban employment guarantee scheme. In this context, Jean Dries, he proposes for a duet, decentralized urban employment and training. What is this? Let me explain this from the context of Europe. In Europe, we have something called service vouchers. So, these are given to private households. Whenever they want some maid services, they can call them, and instead of paying them, they can give these service vouchers which they can cash from any bank. So, these government service vouchers are meant to subsidize these household work. And in the case of India, the duet proposes the similar thing, but rather than service vouchers for the private households, what it proposes for is job coupons or stamps. These job coupons or stamps are given to public institutions, let's take educational institutions or government offices, libraries, etc. These people, if they have to get any work done, let us take cleaning work has to be done. For that matter, any work if they want to get it done, these job stamps becomes in handy. It means they can call for workers and get the job done rather than paying in cash, rather than paying them in money, they can pay them in the form of stamps or coupons. Then these people will go to bank and cash them into their accounts. In between, to facilitate these public institutions whom we call as employers and these employees, we will create certain agencies, intermediate recruitment or job agencies. That way this entire system becomes successful. And second thing is, women, if they are being given priority, there are two advantages. In India, women participation in the labor force is very minimal. Actually, in the last 20 years, it is decreasing. So, giving priority to women increases their participation in the labor force. Second thing, it also makes them financially independent. That way, it increases the agency to them on their own lives. It increases their position within the family. It gives them the necessary voice and bargaining power within the family. This is what author suggests here. The ground has fallen out from beneath the farmer's feet. Let us try to understand the weaknesses of the various farm bills which have been passed. You know the names of the farm bills, right? One is Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act, Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act, Essential Commodities Bill. So these are three are together called as farm bills, and as they are passed now, they are called farm acts. So this article looks into the pitfalls of these farm acts. Farms are agriculture, agricultural production, marketing, everything. It is a subject in the state list. As it is a subject in the state list, Union Parliament cannot make the laws, and Union Parliament is making the laws misinterpreting a provision, that is entry number 33 in the concurrent list, misinterpretation. It is violation of the division of powers, that is the first thing. And the second thing is, states are expected to lose money, that is revenue loss to the states, because mandi fees is one of the important revenue to the state, that is market fees we call it as. And then today farmers have to enter into various contracts with the buyers. So these contracts, obviously they are legal documents. It means farmers need to take the necessary legal assistance. Don't you think it increases the cost of transaction for the farmers? Yes. Fourth thing is, the definitions are very loose. Let us take the definition of the farmer. It excludes tillers, sharecroppers, agricultural laborers, etc. All these three people are also part of the agricultural ecosystem, and these are being excluded. And fifth thing is, there is a sponsor. It means who comes with an agreement with the farmer to buy his crop. Let us call him as a sponsor. The sponsor, after coming into an agreement, at a later date, he can also refuse it, stating quality is not up to the mark. So, a farmer who grew the crop and at the last minute, if the sponsor is not buying that particular crop, then what will happen to the farmer's status? That is what is the question. And then if any grievances are there, where these grievances have to be addressed, that is at the level of subdivisional magistrate, who is already overburdened authority. Now, any decision of subdivisional magistrate, it is final and there is no appeal onto that. It means the grievance redressal is also very much ineffective. These are the points we need to understand. Next is rebuilding from debris. United States of America under Trump, it has faced challenges from within and also from outside. Let me put it as this way. The US lost its respect and eminence in the global affairs. Many of the friends like European Union, they are away from US now. And from within, the country is divided and it is waging a war with itself. So Mr. Biden, he has an important challenge to rebuild the image of the country among the Committee of Nations outside, and also to enter into climate change, WHO, UNESCO, all these places where Trump has vacated US. And second, healing the country is another important thing. America is not about two different parties. America is all about its people. That is the message which he has to send. Added to that, COVID-19 challenge still remains. After that, immigration policies are very much tweaked by the Trump administration, which needs to be corrected. So it means a lot of job is ahead for Kamala Harris, Biden and Kamala Harris team. Next is investing in India's youth. Close to 27% is the youth in India. So India has a youth bulge. Benefiting from this youth bulge, we call it as demographic dividend. How can we benefit? We have to impart the skills to them. So skills imparting is essential over here. In this scenario, India has brought in National Skill Development Policy 2009 and it was revisited in 2015. And to make it implementable, Skill India mission is started. The Skill India mission wanted to make India the skill capital of the world. In this scenario, UNESCO's State of Education report was released to recently. The state of education. It talks about dismal status of the skills, vocational education and training in India. What it clearly says is there is a prejudice on various kinds of skill developments. Let us take carpentry. In India, this carpentry work is associated with certain caste. So this prejudice makes many of the young people not taking that particular skill development. If you observe the benefits or else earnings of these people who are getting vocational education with university grads, the people getting vocational education, they are being paid more than the university graduates today. So national education policy also aims to make at least 50% learners get their skills by 2025, and also skill development need to be integrated with local economies. Let us take a particular area is known for a particular industry or business. Skills related to that industry has to be encouraged in the local graduates or in the local high schools. That is what emphasis here is on. If India can upgrade the skills, it can benefit from its demographic dividend. That is the take home point. Next is transparency is vital. Today many of the vaccines are coming up and emergency use authorization is offered in London and in India too. It is expected. In this context, caution is necessary. So transparency on the studies and the open sharing of this data is essential for us. This is what is being stated. Next, farm leader seeks non-political support. Remember here, farmers mobilization, it has got its legitimacy because farmers are genuinely grieved with farm bills. Once the politics starts capturing it, it will lose its steam. This is what happened with Anna Hazare movement. Initially it was a genuine anti-corruption movement and entire youth of the country are mobilized behind it. But once BJP started hijacking that particular agitation, AAP started, later AAP has emerged from the people who supported it, that is another story. Once BJP has hijacked it, automatically it started losing steam. Even Jallikattu movement, if you say, it also wanted to be apolitical and it has rejected the participation of the political parties in the movement. Now the farmers' protests also want the political parties to extend support, but shall not make use of their protest for their advantage. So keep it apolitical. Already BJP started saying that the political interests are hijacking the farmers' movement to their advantage. Once it brings the political narrative, fizzling out the movement is very easy for the establishment. Only organic farming in Lakshadweep. Let us understand this. Coconuts are the important crop. Coconut is the important crop in our Lakshadweep. But however, marketing it, processing it is the major challenge. Now they are creating a brand of organic crop from Lakshadweep and they wanted to market it across India. They want to add value through food processing. This is to generate increased revenue for the local farmers. It is estimated that the existing 75 crore revenue will go up to 200 crore revenue with food processing, branding of the product, etc. Modi calls for legal reforms. Laws in India are many of the laws they are colonial and archaic. These laws have to be changed. In this context, what Prime Minister Modi is telling is the laws of the past century cannot guide the future of our people. Next is US-China dominate arms market report. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, it has given its report recently. It has announced the top 25 manufacturers of the defense products. In this, the SIPRI says that United States of America accounts for 61% of the global arms sale, followed by China. China accounts for 15.7%, and China is very much specialized in small arms exports, which is leading to civil war in many of the African countries. And here, domestication of the military industrial complex, we have a very good example. India is also trying to develop domestic military industrial complex. UAE is able to establish a company by name Edge. It also has become the important exporter of the arms. Next, in the context of UN reforms, how shall we use this point as why UN reforms are necessary? The countries which are permanent 5, P5, these are the global arms exporters. The countries which are given the responsibility to maintain peace in the world have become the global arms exporters. That is what has been stated over here. Thank you very much. Have a great day.